We're just going live, and I'm told that I'm live on Facebook, which is good. If you can see me, please do say hello. Waiting for a signal from Amazon.com that I can go live on Amazon Live, which is where we are going live today. And this show is an Amazon Live show. I'm just waiting for the go live button to go and change color. I'm having one of those technical days today. So let's go over to, and it is live there. So I'm just waiting for the signal, and I can now click a button and go live on Amazon Live. So Amazon Live is starting up, which means I can take that card off screen or leave that card on screen, and you're watching me go live. Basically, the signal goes from my BeLive studio to the BeLive servers, and then from the BeLive servers, it goes to Amazon Live. And then on my iPad, I have a program which basically tells me I'm going live. Now, all of that, step by step, is simple and straightforward to do. You just got to put it all together and make sure that you go live at the right time, which is why this broadcast actually started a couple of minutes before the hour. So 11 a.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. in UK, 5 p.m. in Belgium. You should be able to see me live on screen wherever you are, and you should see me on Amazon Live now. I checked a moment ago because this, I want to say, I don't know whether to say, well, enjoy Labor Day, everybody who is in America. It's very important, not just because it is a national holiday in America, but it's a recognition of the skills that got us where we are today. Because without all the work done by people over the centuries, we'd not be in a position to actually go live today and just do this. It just wouldn't happen. A lot of skill sets, a lot of work have actually gone in. And Labor Day is a celebration. It's a celebration of the fact that we are so lucky to be where we are today. I mean, in the UK, I live close to Kennington Canal. And the Kennington Canal was built in the 1700s. It opened in the 1730s, I think. And it was a way to transport goods from Bristol to London after the goods had been landed in Bristol. So ships came across from the States to Bristol, offloaded their cargo. Cargo went onto barges. The barges were on the canal. The canal went all the way to London. And that's the supply chain in the 1700s. And that takes thousands of people to actually do that. From creating the goods in America to actually shipping them to Bristol, and then from Bristol over to London. And it's those principles which still hold today. I mean, today, things have changed. I mean, after they built the canal, which goes 120 miles, they invented the steam engine. And the steam engine gave rise to railways. And they built a railway line. Isambard Kingdom Brunel designed and built a railway line from Bristol all the way to London. Now, of course, even though it was only traveling at walking pace, it did get faster over time, but it was became the most reliable and cost efficient way of transporting goods from Bristol, London, from America to Bristol, Bristol, London. So it went onto a train in Bristol and was taken to London, and the canals fell into disrepair. Now, of course, we can fly manufacture goods from one country to another. So we are ever so grateful to everybody who, in every country, who's actually been part of building the economies that we benefit from today. Right, and it is important to me, to everybody. So if you're enjoying Labor Day, carry on doing so. If you're surfing Amazon Live at the moment and you're watching me, thank you so much. I do enjoy being on Amazon Live. And this is not just a celebration of the technology that surrounds us, but also the technology that we use on a daily basis. Now, one of the things that I'm going to show you a video in a moment. Before I do, I want to tell you a little bit about how it is created. Okay, down in the carousel at the moment, you'll find a home gimbal. I attach my phone, this phone, which is an Android phone, to the gimbal, and I can go out and I can shoot video. And the video I shoot, because I've got the gimbal, is steady, and because I've got a lapel microphone, the voice quality is good. So my videos tend to be semi-professional. I'm not going to profess to be a professional and just enjoy doing what I do. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what the Hohem gimbal can actually do. And I'm going to bring up on screen, if I can find the right place. Just a minute. I had it a moment ago. You know those moments? Right, okay. This is live broadcasting. Anything can happen and probably will. As I search for a video, which I had a moment ago. So I'm going to bring that up on screen. I'm going to take myself off full screen. And lights, camera, action is what you're watching now. And I'm going to take that off the screen. Okay. Now, I've changed with Angelica, I've changed over to a 4-day week. So on Fridays now, we go out and visit different National Trust properties in the UK. And we've got literally hundreds to choose from. And within an hour's drive is Durham Park. Now, Durham Park is famous, as you'll see in this video, is famous for its gardens. It's famous for its hall or house. It's famous for its church. And it's just famous for being an amazing place to actually go for a walk. So I want to join you to join me for a couple of moments as we take a look around Durham Park, which is in the south of England. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that video full screen because we're at leisurely pace today because we're celebrating working, and the last thing I want to do is be working too hard on a day like this. So I'm just going to switch my microphone off so I don't get any echo, and I'm just going to press play. It was a beautiful day, as you're about to see. Hello and welcome. I should be going live at the moment on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch, and you probably won't hear this bit. You'll hear me in a moment when this signal actually reaches through switchboard to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Twitch. Now, as usual, it's a very sunny Friday. We didn't expect this when we set off, and we are here. And here is Durham Park. Now, Durham Park is a country house. It's looked after by a National Trust, and it has its own church. Durham is actually also, in addition to being country park, church is also a living church and serves the town or village of Durham. And we are just looking out over the edge of Durham. If you arrive here, it's national membership. Then let's go down here. If you pay your membership, then entrance is free. Otherwise, it will cost you £6 to walk through the gardens. £10 for couples. Walking through now. This the landscaping of the gardens, and the moment we are surrounded, that is the main entrance of the house, and summer balls, dances would have been held here, and it is the gateway here. I'll go to the side first so you can actually see the gate. This is the gate. They're working to restore the gateway, and it's going to cost about £60,000 to do that. Now, they have, as you can appreciate, a full-time gardening staff here, and you have two beds which mirror each other. So left and right beds are the same. The inner beds are the same. The outer beds are the same as usual as well. Now, this time for the first year, the inner beds are actually cultivated, which is the way it's always been. Okay, and as I say, they actually mirror each other in the plants that are actually used. But the colours are just absolutely amazing. As we walk up the driveway that the coaches in the 17th century and 18th century and 19th century, before the invention of the car, of course, it would all been horsepower traffic. Amusing piece of software, and I forgot, you've not heard any of that, have you? I'm going to come back to me again. I forgot to switch my microphone back on. So if you're still watching, thank right, okay, live broadcasting, things are going to go wrong, accept it, get on with it, and carry on. So if you didn't hear what I was saying then, is that I use the mobile phone, the gimbal, to actually go live, and the gimbal makes sure that things are steady. You could hold the camera in your hand, but that would be shaky. And you also need a lapel microphone, which you'll find in the carousel. And the lapel microphone is important because, and thank you for watching live, things are not going totally according to plan, but don't let that deter you. They will eventually, and we'll all be happy. Yeah. You do need, down the carousel at the moment, down below, you'll find a lapel microphone, which is not too expensive, and it makes a world of difference to the broadcast that you actually make from your mobile phone. And you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for history, okay, and you're doing it to actually promote the place that you're actually visiting. I mean, we love visiting the National Trust properties in the UK. At the moment, in my Tuesday broadcast, we're actually looking at the National Trust in America as well. But even when shooting with a mobile camera, things can go wrong, believe it or not. Okay, this is from real life. This is just from the last 3 months of actually live broadcasting. Okay, Tales of a Mobile Broadcaster, Part 1. You've got to make sure, if you're actually broadcasting, I broadcast, as I said, to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch all at the same time from my mobile phone. It's all set up. I press one button, switchboard light takes care of the rest. But when I first arrive at a place, I cannot be sure that I've got a 4G signal. And without a 4G signal, I cannot go live. The only thing is, my phone will not tell me whether I'm live or not. It just says you're broadcasting somewhere. So the true story is that 3 weeks ago, we went down to Portsmouth, dockyards. And we did a tour of the dockyards in the morning, which was shown all the way around. And then in the afternoon, we went around the Royal Dockyards themselves. And then the following day, we went to Portchester Castle. Now, Portchester Castle was built by the Saxons in the year 300. It was taken over by Richard II, and it is the place where he set off to actually fight the French in the Battle of Crécy, in which he was victorious. So, piece of history, beautiful castle. And you may have seen the photograph is actually on the show card for this show, the one that Angelica took, my partner. So we arrived at the castle. We had a good look round, which we always do. And Angelica said, okay, go and shoot your video, because this has got routine by now. We do the grand tour. We go all the way around the castle looking at everything. And then Angelica takes a quiet moment, sits down, and I go off with the gimbal. And I go around the castle, and I think it's perfect. Okay. I went for about 25 minutes walking all the way around the castle. What I didn't know, that some parts of the castle have a 4G signal and some don't. So I was going in and out of signal all the time. My phone just says you're live somewhere. Okay, so for my mind, I shot the most magnificent 25-minute video of Portchester Castle you will ever see. Except you won't. Because it didn't all transmit. It wasn't a complete disaster. Out of the 25 minutes, 20 minutes did in fact transmit from the parts of the castle that had a 4G signal. And the other part of it was actually recorded on my phone, because it said, I can't broadcast at the moment, I'm storing it on your phone. So when you're going to do a mobile broadcast, the thing you need to be able to do is establish whether you've got 4G or not. Okay. And I found a foolproof way of actually doing this and killing two birds with one stone, and not being too worried about what's going to happen when you actually do your 25-minute spiel on camera, because you know you're going to have Wi-Fi. And what I do is I take my camera, go onto Facebook, I take 3 pictures from different parts of the castle or the country house or whatever it is, and I post them on Facebook, and I say, where are we today? Okay, so it becomes a guessing game. But if the photograph successfully arrives on Facebook, I know I've got a 4G signal. So the simple act of actually sending 3 or 4 photographs before you do your 25-minute recording, or 25-minute live, you know it's going to work. Okay, so that happened this weekend. And the idea happened this weekend. The problem happened 3 weeks ago, but I now have a solution. And the solution is, if you're going to broadcast from somewhere, then make sure that you have a Wi-Fi, because if you don't know, every so often, I'm going to look down at my screen and try and find things which are interesting. There are 38 items in the carousel. Some of them I will talk about, some of them I won't. But if you are looking around Amazon today and you're actually interested in live video, then the equipment that's shown in the carousel is one that I can heartily recommend. Okay. Now, just said that if you're going to go live, you'd send the 3 or 4 screenshots to Facebook. The other thing that can happen, and I'm not sure whether I've actually got this down in the carousel, but it is important. On the same trip to Portsmouth Dockyards, I had the situation where I was walking around and I was recording, and I was recording all this interesting stuff. And basically, I'm going to tell you about it. You find it in the carousel in a moment. I'll find it, but never mind. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop doing that. Okay, but if you want to scroll the carousel, you'll find what I'm about to talk about. The second thing that can go wrong with a mobile broadcast, besides the signal, is your battery. Now, I always try to charge my mobile phone the evening before I go out. Yeah, so I know it's charged. I put it on charge, charges up, so I know when I switch it on, it's going to be 100%. Okay. I didn't do that when we went to Portsmouth Royal Navy Dockyards. The end result of which is that I set off and we looked at HMS Warrior, which is the first ever metal-clad ship. We went across to HMS Victory, which was Nelson's flagship, and then we went round the corner to the Murray Rose, which is Henry VIII's ship, which sank and has been brought back to the surface, is being lovingly restored in the Royal Naval Dockyards. And I was about to start filming when the video went, and then my sound went, and then my phone went. Zilch, nothing. My phone was dead. I did not have a rechargeable battery pack with me. So whenever I go and I'm going with my mobile phone and I go broadcasting, I actually now take with me a battery backup so that I can recharge the phone wherever I am and just carry on broadcasting, because it's you put all the time in finding the right places to actually broadcast from. Okay. So that's mobile. I'll come back to mobile a bit later on. Okay. But the next thing, interesting thing is, if I'm broadcasting to you from my desktop at the moment, I'm on my BeLive studio, I'm broadcasting to OneStream. OneStream is broadcasting to Amazon Live, and everything's working fine. And I know it will, because the technology is tried and tested and true. But there is one thing that, above all else, determines whether a broadcast is going to be successful, and that is your network signal in the premises. Now, I'm in a house, you could equally well be an office, but your network signal is the one that determines how high the quality is. If you've got a low quality network signal, then my picture will be totally fuzzy. I know, because I've just looked. It's quite reasonable, and it's quite reasonable because I have a good Wi-Fi network, and the one that I have is down at the Carousel at the moment. Now, I'm proud to say that TP-Link are a British company. I'm going to tell you a true story. If Peter's listening, he will confirm this. Basically, I mean, I got it and I'm happy with it. We've got one unit is in my office now, one is in Angelica's office, one is downstairs. So 3 TP-Link Deco units as down in the Carousel. Now, I don't know whether you've actually suffered from this as well. We've got Amazon Prime. Okay. On a good day, we could watch a film on Amazon Prime. On a bad day, we couldn't. We could not watch. The film would keep buffering, and an hour and a half film would take you 2 hours to watch because of the buffering. You get used to it after a while, but you don't have to. You don't have to. We switched over to the TP-Link Deco down the Carousel, and now we can watch an Amazon Prime film, a Netflix film, or even cricket live or recorded on television without interruptions. In other words, we can binge watch NCIS, CSI. We don't have the worry of, is the quality going to be there on the TV? Now, if the quality is there on the TV, the quality will be there when you're broadcasting live. And basically, I'm just going to go over here, because this is before you go live, before you live broadcast. Now, I live broadcast everywhere. Today we broadcast into Amazon Live. Thank you for watching now. If you can read my lips, please unmute, and then you can hear what I'm saying. Now that I've got the microphone switched on. Amazon Live, different to every other system. In order to listen to what I say, you've got to press the unmute button in the center of the screen. Just press it once and you can listen to what I'm saying. And hopefully what I'm saying is educational, entertaining and informative, and certainly fun, because this is live broadcasting. Anything can go wrong. So before you go live, one of the things you've got to get right is your internet signal. Now, there are people who say, if you're going to go live, you need to be wired. That's wired in the sense of a cable going, sorry about that, Hans, a cable going from your computer to the router. So you're wired, okay? And in an ideal world, everybody would be wired, okay? Things don't work out that way, though, do they? Be honest. right? Peter's watching, he'll enjoy this story because it's a true story. I've been using the Deco TP-Link for about 3 to 6 months without any problem. It removed the Amazon Prime problems, it removed the Netflix problems, simply worked. And when I went live broadcasting, the signal was as clear as you see it now. Fingers crossed. Okay. So I knew it worked. So when Peter came to me and said, I'm going to cable the house, Peter's got an office which is in the garage. Now, the garage is an extension to the original building. Now, what he was planning to do was to drill a hole into the wall of the house and lay a cable from the router in the house out to the garage. Okay. And Peter said to his partner, I'm going to lay a cable. Anyway, long story short, that wasn't an option. Laying a cable was not an option. So then the next best thing is decent Wi-Fi. Okay, that's where TP-Link Deco comes in, because Peter installed TP-Link and it simply works for him. I say he's not in the main building, he's in the garage, and he's got a darn good signal which allows him to go live. And Peter and I have been going live for 5.5 years every Thursday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern. And the quality of his signal has to be seen to be believed. He's got an expert setup now. And you too can have a great Wi-Fi signal if you look at the TP-Link Deco. So down the carousel are items which I use, which may be of interest to you. Right, so before you go live, you've got to have decent Wi-Fi. You've got to have a decent camera. Now, I'm going to scroll back a moment, and thank you for watching live on Amazon Live. I really enjoy your broadcasting here. I'm just going to take a quick surf into the carousel. Right, I'm going to tell you the kit that I'm using first. And seeing's believing. Yeah, okay. You're watching me now, and you're watching a Logitech Brio camera, which is the one down in the carousel. Okay. It's capable of 4K. It can do 1080p on Amazon Live or at 720p. Now, if 720, 1080, and 4K are gobbledygook, I can explain that what we're talking about is the resolution of the screen that's being sent to you. The higher the resolution, the better quality the video is. Now, I'm going out in 720p because of Amazon Live and because of people on mobile. I could go out in 1080p using the Logitech Brio camera. There's no problem with that, except Amazon won't accept it. I can go live on YouTube in 1080p. I can go live on Twitch and Twitter 1080p, but I cannot go live on Amazon Live. And if I wasn't on Be Live, I couldn't even go live on Facebook with this 1080p. But there is a difference. 720p is there. 1080p, what I'm trying to do is to say one of these, people watching now are going to wonder what the heck is going on. That's 720p. Nope. I'm going to give up on that. I need to practice that, obviously. When you broadcast at 1080p, it needs twice as much data. Okay, now if somebody's watching you on their mobile phone, you're using twice as much data as you need to, and it might well cost them. Yeah. So in order to be viewable on mobile phone, in other words, mobile phone friendly, that's why we're broadcasting 720p. And that's one of the major reasons, because there is, if we're broadcasting 1080p, we're using twice as many pixels. That's just twice as much data that a phone's got to receive. So, right, one day, not now, we will be able to broadcast in 4K. Okay, technically it can be done. This Brio camera does 4K. There's nowhere I can broadcast live in 4K. I can record locally on my desktop, be it a PC or a Mac, in 4K, and the quality is, well, it's frightening. Well, it is literally frightening. When you get to 4K, you can see all the lines on your face. That's why I love 720K, because I look reasonable. I'm not wrinkled. I don't have any wrinkles. Okay. So the higher you go up the scale, 720, 1080, 4K, the more data is transferred, the clearer your picture becomes. And you may well already have a 4K television. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Live video tends to lag behind television technology, which is understandable, really. Okay, so your camera is an important part of before you go live. So done your internet. Now just go back to your internet for a moment. If you're going live and you've got the TP link, brilliant. Okay, that will improve things no end. But you've got somebody in your house playing a game, somebody else watching a video on Netflix, and somebody else, you get where I'm going with this. You're all sharing the same signal. So if you've got people doing heavy duty things like watching a video or playing a computer game, then ideally they should stop to help you broadcast live. Those are the actions you can take, is just say to everybody, look, I'm going live for 30 minutes. Can you just take a break and go back to your gaming and your film after I've done my live video? And I won't go live when you want to play your game. So it's a win-win situation. So the network we've covered the camera. Now, camera-wise, we all start off with the Logitech C920. But the camera that everybody seems to be going for at the moment is the C922X, which is an alternative to the Logitech Pro. And you can find the 922X in the carousel. Click that link and you'll see all the Logitech cameras. Now, Logitech have the majority of the market for live video cameras. You can use a DSLR, but it wasn't built for live video. You can adapt it to live video. The cameras we're talking about at the moment were built specifically to go live, and to go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Zoom. Okay, I said Zoom. So a dedicated camera is a step up from your internal camera. Let's just take a look at that. I'm just going to do an experiment. Now, this may or may not work. I warn you in advance. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to add a camera. Okay. And I'm going to go down there. I know I'm not looking at the screen. I'm actually busy doing things. I'm going to check that I've got the right camera. So just give me a second. And that's the one. Okay, so I'm back now. I just need to make sure that that was the right camera, and it will come up in a moment. And here it is. Okay. When we start broadcasting, I'm going to hide that. Okay, to the right of me. I know you've got two of me. I'll put it right in a minute. Let's do this. Okay. To the right of me, you could see that I actually had two cameras on screen then. Okay, I'm using one microphone, two cameras to stop any echo. And if you heard an echo for a few seconds, do apologize for that. The rucksack, yes, the rucksack is an Under Armour rucksack, and it goes on all our travels. Underneath that, you can see a stand, which is for my iPad. And this is all kit that I'm going to do videos about. But back to the point, this is what your inbuilt camera looks like. Now, you don't have the same control over an inbuilt camera as you do over an external camera. External camera sits on your monitor, plugs into your PC or Mac, and if it's a Logitech camera, it will be identified straight away as being a Logitech camera. You don't need to anything whizzy, just plug and play. Literally, it just works. But if you want to improve the quality of your camera, then you do need an external camera. Okay, well, if I've got the external camera, I can do things like this. Okay, now I make this is better work. Okay, and I'm hoping that this works. Okay, so I'm going to go not there. Not there, but there. Okay, with an external camera, you can use background removal, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, which opens up new possibilities for the quality of your live video. With background removal, you can be anywhere, and it just works so well these days. I started using this in January 2019, and it was acceptable. Now it's getting close to being professional. You can see I've got 10 fingers. You can see my hair is slightly blowing in the breeze, but don't have a halo around my head. Okay. And in terms of background removal, my acid test is, can you see my fingers? And can you see them in entirety? Can I close them? Can I open them again? Can I close them? That's the acid test. So an external camera, I'm going to come back to my natural setting. At the flick of a switch, I shall go back to my natural setting. I think I clicked it. Yes, I did. Okay. So I'm back in my natural setting, which is broadcast friendly. So Logitech cameras, there is a piece of software you can get. You bought the hardware. There is a piece of software called Logitech Capture. If you go to the Logitech site, you can download Logitech Capture, and it allows you to zoom in, zoom out, pan left, and pan right. Okay. It also can change the setting now. I'm going to change the setting right now. Okay, so Logitech Capture is the software you're on. Logitech cameras, majority of live broadcasters actually use them. I'm going to turn the list light on, and there you are. Lighting is important. Now, you could see me. It is daylight in the UK at the moment. You could see me then. But what I'm actually doing is I'm using external lights, and in the carousel, believe it or not, you probably find them before I do. Yeah, okay. Okay, what I have either side of me is a softbox. Now, the softbox looks like this. So there you can see the softbox. It's there. That's a softbox. This is my demonstration camera, by the way. I use this for doing demonstrations. That's the rucksack. That's the iPad stand. Okay. So soft lights, and that one's obviously not on at the moment. What I've just done is I've just switched on the left hand of my two soft lights. Now, as you could see, the light wasn't pointing at me. This is not a photo shoot. This is not the way we use the green screen. The way I use the green screen is that, as you saw there, and this is important, the soft light is pointing to the wall in front of me, okay, and the light is bouncing back. Okay, so what you're seeing now is reflected light, and that's the best way. That is without doubt the best way to actually light your set. Okay, because we're talking about set now, because you've got your VR camera, you've got everything you need. Okay, so lighting is important. I switched my lights on, so I'm not as dark or as dim as I was earlier. I wish I'd done it earlier. Okay, but that's the thing about live, you forget to do things. So, and it made a point as well, because I went from light to dark. Okay, so before you go live, get your lighting right. Make sure you look right on screen. Make sure your camera is working. Also, make sure your sound is good. Now, I'll come on to sound in a minute, I promise. Wi-Fi, camera, lights, green screen, check. Okay, if you've got those in place, then you're good to go. Now, the thing you don't want to do is to actually check all this out whilst you're live. That's disrespectful to everybody watching live. I mean, I can do it now because I'm doing a demonstration of how these work. So I can show you the light on, I can show you the light off, I can show you the background on, I can show you the background off, but I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. When you actually go live, you want everything to be spot on. Okay, and I'm just going to close one or two things. Just give me a second. I just want to close that tab, and that tab is closed. I just want to close that tab is closed. So I'm actually going around here closing tabs and come back to me. Okay, so that was a bit of housekeeping whilst live. Okay, generally when I'm live, I only have 2 tabs open. One is this one, which is my studio, the Be Live studio. And the second one is Amazon Live, because I want to see what's going on Amazon Live. And I want to make sure that the videos actually play and everything is working as it should do. Okay, and I also use Amazon Live to actually see the messages, because it's the only way I can see the messages. Right, the final part of the equation in before you go live is this one. I'm just scrolling back a minute. Okay, in going live, one of the most important things, besides the camera, Logitech Brio, Logitech 922X, they're all good, especially with the Logitech Capture software. The other thing that's important is your microphone. Now, the one that's down in the carousel at the moment is the one that I use, which is basically the Audio Technica. And the only reason I've got this is that I was listening to a live broadcast on Facebook. I thought the sound is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to ask Mike which microphone he's using. So I did. And straight away, Mike told me he's using an Audio Technica. I thought the sound was perfect. I just loved the resonance of the sound. And my microphone is here in front of me. You can't see it because I don't do that sort of microphone. I'm quite happy with the microphone sat down on the desk. Thank you. So it was recommended to me. And it's very subjective. How a microphone sounds is down to each of us. Okay. If you think this microphone sounds good, then thank you. It's down the carousel. Check it out. And you'll see comparative models down there as well. But you have to listen to other people. For free, you can watch other people's Amazon Live broadcasts. You can watch, so you get where I'm going with this. If you watch other people's Amazon Live broadcasts and listen to the sound, then you've got an idea of the quality. And you can ask them in the comments down the side on Amazon, you can ask them which microphone you're using, because it's part of the show. And the odds are that if you ask somebody which microphone they're using, they will be more than happy to actually tell you. So it's a win-win situation. If you don't ask, you'll never know. If you hear the perfect microphone, ask what it is. Okay? And you'll be given a direct answer from a very happy person. We all love when somebody asks us for recommendations about anything. Yeah, we always give a straight answer. Yeah, so do ask about the microphone. If you ask me, then I started off with the internal microphone. Okay, so when I started off, I was using the microphone that's built into the PC. Okay, now to me, 6 years ago, this was just so amazing. The quality of sound, the video, we'd never seen anything like it. We were back on Blab before we ever arrived on Facebook Live, and we were happy to get together, 4 people on screen, be able to talk to them. There was no Facebook Live then. We were as happy as Larry because the technology worked. But over the years, we've become more sophisticated in what we expect of a live broadcast. We expect a good quality picture. We also expect, on a live broadcast, good quality sound. Now, I'm going to lay a bet here. I'm not a betting man, but I'm going to lay a bet that whilst you can hear my voice, and thank you for unmuting if you have, press unmute, you're probably looking at another page. And that's not a problem. Okay, you can still hear me. But the fact that I'm using an Audio Technica microphone and there are no sound problems on this broadcast is encourage you to keep listening. If my sound was bad on a live broadcast, I'd walk away myself. People walk away from bad sound. We all accept that there's going to be fluctuations in the quality of the live video, but we cannot accept below quality sound. So by all means, start off with your internal microphone. In other words, at first, don't spend a penny. Use the internal camera, use the internal microphone. When you're bitten by the going live bug, then and only then invest in a new camera, a new microphone. And it's debatable whether you should actually go for the camera first or the microphone first. Okay? And it's your choice. Eventually you'll go for both. So over a period of time, that's not a problem. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about something else now. And hopefully these are down in the carousel. Just a moment. Past the green screen and past Camtasia, past the privacy things, past the tablet floor stand, which I showed you. And then we've got the Fitbit. There's my Fitbit. I did 8,000 steps earlier today out in the sunshine. And also in the carousel, you find my iPad. I bought this iPad specifically to go live on Amazon Live, and I'm blown away by the quality of it. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm a DOS person, but a Windows, and I've switched over now to an iPad, and I'm looking, as you can see in the carousel, I'm actually looking at thinking about actually getting an iPhone. But I want to show you basically something else now. This something else is down in my staging area. So if you forgive me for a moment, hopefully. All right, okay. This will take a minute of setting up. And now I'll look back at the camera. Always look at the camera. Okay. Right, this is my first ever. I want your comments. This is my first ever infomercial about aftershocks. So let's just bring the video up full screen. I'm going to switch my microphone off and I'm just going to press play on the video. So this is basically all about Aftershocks headphones and why I love them. Trex titanium headphones are lightweight and very, very effective because they go over, they're open ear, they go over the ear, and that means that whilst you're wearing them, you can hear what's going on. If you've got somebody to the side of you, behind you, you can actually hear what's going on. You can hear the traffic, you can hear all the noises around you, but you can concentrate on the music or the podcast that you're actually playing. Now, they last 6 hours on a 1.5 hour battery charge. You can make and receive phone calls. They are practical. They're coated, so they are rainproof and sweatproof. I use them daily, and they're just good sound and quite probably the best headphones that I've actually tried, because I've tried many over the years, wired. These are Bluetooth, but wired, unwired, and these are the best that I've actually found because they are so simple, easily rechargeable. They pair on Bluetooth, simple and straightforward. Making phone calls is straightforward. You can voice dial. Receiving calls you can do with one button. So if you're looking for a pair of headphones and you do go out and about and you go walking, jogging, running or cycling, then these are the headphones that you should actually consider because they are so well crafted and practical and good quality. Thank you for listening. Right. Okay. As I say, that was my first ever infomercial, and I did enjoy actually making it. I've got to be honest, but it means that rather than having to remember a set of lines to actually tell you, I can quite simply now play a video. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm creating videos for everything that's in the carousel. Not that I'm going to play 30, 40 videos in a live broadcast. That would be silly. I might play 3 or 4 and choose 3 or 4 during the live broadcast, so I can give you more information after I've done my research about the particular item that is actually in the carousel. And I've just discovered that the aftershocks aren't in the carousel. So yes, that's something I'm going to put right on my next lights, camera, action broadcast. Live video is a learning experience. Okay, you cannot take it too seriously. Things are going to go wrong. When they go wrong, you just cope with them. And I mean, we did. This is a story against. Well, before I came live here today, I was live with my friend Nick Wood. We do a show on Facebook. Nick Wood's on Amazon as well. Nick and I will be on Amazon together, either later this week or next week. But we're at the cutting edge of live broadcasting, and we test out things. And we were testing something new today and going live to Facebook. And all of a sudden, after 12 minutes, 32 seconds, the stream stopped. And I've still got to find out why. Things go wrong. Things go wrong in live broadcasting. You just got to stay calm, collected, and go and find out what the reason is. I'm most interested to actually find out what happened. Now, another thing that's actually happening later this week, and I can tell you a little bit more about it if I share my screen, because I'm quite happy about this. So I'm going to share my screen and just cancel just a minute. If I go over here, there it is. I can show it on screen. And I can bring it up on screen next to it. I'm going to hide the advertisement, take myself off full screen. Give me a second. Do not adjust your set. I'm going to show this in the broadcast, hopefully. So it's a shared screen or not. Okay, I'm going to go on to a new topic. Okay. So you just to note, you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. I'm close to Stonehenge, and I'm going to try again. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So as I said earlier, don't panic if something goes wrong. I'm going to go picture in picture here. Okay. This is a site called OneStream. And if I scroll up the page, you can see that that's my broadcast with my bold page. Okay. Here I'm going out to Amazon Live. So I'm using my studio, which is Be Live. I'm going to Amazon to OneStream, and they're sending the signal out to Amazon Live. Now, if I wanted to broadcast out to one of my pages, Blabbing for Britain, I can just press go live, and this signal that you're watching now will actually go live. And I've got a comment coming up. Let's just see what that says. All right, it means I've got to reauthorize. I'm not going to do that at the moment because I'm broadcasting live. So let's just come back to me broadcasting live. Make sure I'm on Amazon, and I'm going to stop sharing screen and come back to me. Okay. So I'm using OneStream to actually broadcast to Amazon Live, and I'm still live. And I'm just going to check that I'm actually still live. Yes, I am. Thank you. So I'm using a program called OneStream. I'm in my BeLive studio. I'm broadcasting to OneStream broadcast to Amazon Live and to other places as well. Okay. I am talking about how I do this in a broadcast. I'm doing it for OneStream. OneStream have asked me to broadcast into their Facebook Live group on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I will be live in the OneStream group, onestream.live group, and I'll be talking about exactly how I'm doing this technology. Okay, so that's to look forward to. I'm looking forward to it on Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the onestream.live Facebook group, and I'll tell you exactly how you too can go live on Amazon from your desktop using BeLive on Wednesday. Right, okay, we've got that. Okay, we've talked about broadcasting equipment. Okay, we've talked about camera, we've talked about microphone, we've talked about green screens. So cameras we've covered, microphones and the importance of microphones, green screens. If any any background removal software says you do not need a green screen, it's not totally accurate. It isn't. If you don't have a green screen, then you won't see 10 fingers. Okay, let's switch my background again. If you don't have a green screen, you will not see okay, take that off. You will not see 10 fingers. Okay, you can see 10 fingers now because I've got a green screen behind me and I can move my hands. This is pretty close to being good. Okay, I've been using this software since 2019, January 2019. You do need a green screen. Don't let anybody anywhere tell you otherwise. It's the difference. It is the difference between having a good picture and a great picture. This behind me now is one, and the other thing is the lighting. Okay, you do need lighting for a green screen, otherwise it won't work. So green screen lighting is important. Okay, two features. So we talked about green screens. One of the things I am interested in is broadcasting to your website, and I am broadcasting to my own website now. And in the show on Thursday, I will take you through how I do it step by step. Broadcasting to your website is important. We all broadcast on Facebook and YouTube, but the situation is that we're actually working for Facebook and YouTube. We're providing content for them. People watch our content, click on an advert, which is next to us, and Facebook and YouTube get paid. If you're broadcasting to your website, that's basically where you should be broadcasting. Not broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook in the hope that people will come to your website, but bringing people to your website directly. Now, this broadcast is going out on my website. And I've told people it's going out on my website. I put a link into my website so that people can actually watch it there. The other thing is that if you're going live to your website on a blog post or a blog page, and I'm WordPress, then the link is permanent. You can give people the same link week after week after week, and it will be the same. This is the advantage you have over Facebook and YouTube, where the link to your live broadcast changes every time you go live. Okay. You have to give people a direct link to your broadcast. If it's on a blog page or a blog post, then you can. Now, as I said, I'm actually live on Facebook, and the proof of that is a comment that's coming from Corinda, and Corinda is a good friend who lives in London. Corinda, thank you for joining me. Okay. And to everybody who's watching live, I'm live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and of course on Amazon Live, which is what this is all about. I'm so enjoying being on Amazon Live. I'm now into my second month of broadcasting. I've learned a great deal, and hopefully step by step my broadcasts are actually improving. And I do so enjoy your company. I enjoy you actually watching me, and thank you for doing so. Okay, so talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. Okay, I've just put my iPad. Okay, this is my iPad. I love my iPad. This is the model that's actually down in the carousel being highlighted at the moment. It is an absolutely brilliant piece of equipment, and I'm blown away by its quality. Okay, and I've got an
Okay, let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
okay, that I'm not going to say the word, but that was SIRI interrupting my broadcast because she picked up on something that I said, and it piqued her interest, and she came in to join me. If you're watching me live on Amazon Live, this is Stephen in Wiltshire, England, talking about lights, camera, action. Let's just go back up to the top on the right hand side. So this is lights, camera, action. And this is where we talk about going live. And it's going live on desktop, it's going live on mobile, it's going live with software like Be Live, it's going live with OBS. It's whatever you think about live streaming. And if you've got any questions about live streaming, then you can ask them during the broadcast. If I can't answer them straight away, I will say I can't answer straight away, and I will get back to you with an answer, or I'll post an answer. There's going to be a blog post and a blog page for this particular Amazon Live broadcast. I'll put the link every time I go live, so you can check basically what previous shows are about and the answers to your questions whilst I'm live. Now, I do get questions when I'm live, and I'm grateful for those. If you want to tell me where you're watching from, please do. If you want to ask a question, please do. As I say, this is what it's all about. I want this to be right. Okay, I'm quite happy broadcasting. I enjoy broadcasting. I broadcast 6 times a week on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch under my website. When I do broadcast, I like to network as well. So if you do comment, then say hello, then it's networking. But I do appreciate that you're actually listening whilst it's a Labor Day in the USA, and also that you're actually looking for something on Amazon. So I'm not going to interrupt that. That would be remiss of me if I was to do that. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, I am over the weeks going to be talking about web broadcasting to your website. If you are interested in broadcasting to your WordPress website, then please do follow me and you'll get notified of when I'm about to go live. Then you can decide whether to actually join me. In the broadcast this coming Saturday, I will be talking about another lights, camera, action. I will be talking about how you can go live to your website. So the technology of doing it and the cost of doing it is cheaper. Going live to your website is cheaper than paying for advertising. I'm just saying that. And just a reminder, the follow button is below this video on Amazon Live. If you're not watching an Amazon Live, then this won't make much sense. Neither will when I refer to the carousel, because the carousel is actually on Amazon Live. In fact, all the action is on Amazon Live. If you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, up above in the description is a link to join me on Amazon Live. Please do. It's a more inclusive experience on Amazon Live. Okay. So back to the carousel, and I'm going to play you. Thank you for watching live on Amazon. You are absolutely awesome. I hope you are having a good holiday today and taking a break. And if you're not in a position to do so, that's basically we all have people who have to work. We've realised in the UK how important delivery staff are, and delivery staff have been getting an increase in pay recently in the UK. They actually keep the whole economy going, and we should be grateful to everybody who works to keep everything working for us. Yeah, I mean, we should be grateful for everything that's been done for us. When we're so lucky, we've got all this infrastructure, we've got roads, we've got railways, we've got flight, all, we can just use it, and we take it for granted sometimes. And perhaps today is a day to remind ourselves that we are, in fact, so lucky that all these people do this work for us. Now, I'm looking at some software which I will get back to you about, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do, as I say, I love mobile broadcasting, and I'm going to play you a short clip of a video. These are all videos that I have made. So I'm not showing you somebody else's video, I'm showing you my video. And I basically, if I just show this in the stream, okay, I'm going to go picture in picture, not that way around, that way around, and I'm going to shrink myself. Okay, when I do shoot a video, and I say we now take Friday as a holiday, when I do shoot a video, I'm actually able to use a piece of software which takes that video and turns it into images. Now, these images are of a place near to us, which is called Laycock Abbey. And these images that you're seeing now were actually taken from a live video. Okay, so I'm going to go the other way around. These images were taken from a video, and I'm only going to get the one image, aren't I? I'm going to hide that and come back to me. Okay, right, so I'm going to remove that, which brings me back on screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my catalog of videos and take a short breather, and I'm going to bring up on screen a video next to me. I'm going to put it full screen. This was shot using the gimbal that's down in the carousel, and enjoy. This is, well, I actually explained in the video, but this is the Quartz Garden in Wiltshire. I'll just be playing 2 minutes of this, so if you want to take a breather and come back, well, no, stay here, watch the video. And I'm actually going to show you the gardens, which are immaculate. Lawns, the flowers off to the side, and people enjoying a day out in the sun. When we set off, it was raining, so to be here now, enjoying the garden, and that's Angelica over there on the other side, keeping away from what I'm doing. As we pan round and just walk down the length of the garden, and it's just great to be out and about. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from being totally released. Excuse me, sorry. But these gardens are just totally, thank you, totally amazing. And this is just a short tour of the gardens as we see Angelica again. Hello. Okay, now in here, I'm going to go in here, is a statue. I wish I could actually, because you never know what you're going to find. Is a statue, and there's no inscription. Well, there is an inscription on it, but it's rather faded. So there you have, in the Quartz Garden, a little area which has been set aside. Of course, this was once, incredibly, this area and that house over there were part of an industrial estate, and there was a factory here, and the factory was closed and went into disrepair, and the property was then turned into a house with a magnificent garden. And we can see the bamboo here, and if I go through here, again, this is a mystery tour. I know where I'm going, but you don't. So hopefully through the bamboo and along the path, the steps, and then I'm going to turn around, give people their freedom. Try not to photograph people. We're actually looking at things, but this is just the most amazing garden. Okay, just a note, little advertisement. Marco Nova Okay, I'm going to